And up next, we've got Roy Taylor he is the founder and CEO of Ryff. Ryff has developed a pioneering AI-driven video platform called Placer that enables content creators to tailor their products, people, and other images in their video programming to individual viewers. Roy founded Ryff in 2018, and he was formerly the corporate VP and worldwide of AMD Studios, amongst many other fantastic experiences in his background. And Roy, I will let you take it away to tell everybody about what you're building.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and hello, everybody. So I am the CEO and the founder of Ryff. We're a startup. We've been going 2 years, and we just recently completed a $12 million investment round. The starting place for us is the understanding that what seems often like incredibly complex, difficult math, with today's advances in CPU and GPU computational power, becomes actually a business opportunity. And I realized that while it seems impossible to be able to calculate every kind of lighting that might be in a scene, actually it's entirely possible. And the reason why that became exciting to me will become clear in a moment. But in order to be able to explain that, what I'm going to do now is run a short video which explains about 3D and our ability to calculate light. So the first thing to know, of course, is there's no such thing really as 3D. We can't put our hands into a screen. So 3D, in fact, actually is, from our point of view, a bunch of math. It's points and vertices and then degrees of shading. And if we do that fast enough, we can show motion. And so we can start to make something look like it's approximate to real. We take that math and then we interpolate it so that you can see it onto a flat screen. And this is how video games are made and enjoyed. Now, in our case, what we wanted to do was be able to take any kind of visual media, whether it's sports, film, television, a live feed, or Charlie D'Amelio, who I'm going to return to in a moment, and be able to work out what's going on so that we can add something to what we're seeing or amend it in some way. So we took the technique of ray casting, which was invented by, not by NVIDIA, but has been certainly taken advantage of by NVIDIA with the latest GPUs. And ray casting is usually used to calculate what you want to put into a scene. Well, we realized that the reason things look realistic and fantastic in film and television entertainment today is the quality of the lighting. The reason that Toy Story 4 looks better than Toy Story 1 is because of the rendering, which is the application of light and shadow. So we realized if we could calculate where that's coming from, then we can add things into a scene, and that's an enormous business, as I'll show you. So what you're seeing here is we took what appeared to be a plain wooden table and 2 balls, turned out to be a tabletop and 2 apples, and we've added a glass vase. And we've done that because that's a very complex thing to calculate. There's reflections and refractions on the outside of the glass and the inside of the glass. And we were able to use GPUs in the cloud to work out all of these calculations. So as you can see here, we can calculate how light would look on the inside of the vase, the outside, and so on. Well, this is a venture capital call. So why is this a good business opportunity? Well, the reason is because, as the lady before me, Rebecca, so eloquently demonstrated, is the changing nature of entertainment consumption. And it's not that Gen Z are not watching very much network TV, they're not watching any at all. And to my shock, it also turns out they're not even watching very much sport. When you take the aggregate of that information, what you realize is that from the point of view of an international brand, only 3% of all visual media is available. That sounds like a shocking number until you realize that by definition, social media and influencer markets are ad hoc, unplanned, spontaneous. And that means it is enormously difficult to get access to the next generations of consumers. How do you get your brand in front of them and your message in front of them when they're not looking at billboards? Even if you put up billboards inside of a train, the fact is they're looking at their phones and not your billboards. We realize because of the instant nature of what we do, therefore, we can, for the first time, make those markets and those consumers available. And the reason for that is because we can ingest in real time what we are seeing, calculate all right, create thousands of points of metadata, and then integrate brands and products. In this example here, we've deliberately chosen friends because I think there's probably more Gen X, millennials, and boomers on this call than there are Gen Z. And everybody, of course, knows friends. And everybody knows Starbucks. And you know that those two things didn't go together. This is an example of our work. And we don't do any post-production visual effects. We take a 3D model, just as you do in a video game, but we light it, we render it to match the visuals in the background. And because we can do this in real time, it means that we can do some very, very cool things. From an advertiser's point of view, the biggest challenge is to be contextually and culturally relevant. At the recent Euro football finals, the final game was England-Italy. As a result of that, 50 million people in South America watched the game. Had it been Denmark-Japan, that wouldn't have been the case. If you're an advertiser, how do you plan for that? You don't know how a competition is going to progress. If we suddenly have an Indian summer and you've just invested in an advertising campaign for hot drinks and umbrellas, that's a problem. Sometimes TV shows are a breakout success. Yellowstone, by the time it got to season 3, was such an enormous success that Diageo paid a large number to put Bullet whiskey into the show. Now using Ryff, they can do season 1 and 2. We have changing circumstances, changing politics, and changing social mores. Until now, you've not been able to do anything about that. This was a campaign that we did just this past March, where UCLA got into the Final Four. And so we went back in time, and so the last time that they had such a great success, 2006, and we were able to update the 2006 match and add Cherry Coca-Cola to it, which is what they wanted to do. So we can add and we can adapt. Now, the bigger opportunity, however, and the controversy is that the social influencers are not being paid properly. We intend to announce that with a new platform, which I'm going to show you in a moment. Let me explain what I mean by that. Charli D'Amelio this year will probably earn $10 million. The bulk of that money is coming from Dunkin' Donuts. But it's very difficult for her to always make sure that she's doing what she contractually committed to do so. Now, in real time, we could, as she goes live with a happy t-shirt, we would take the happy t-shirt out, sell it in under half a second using a highest frequency trading style auction, and put Coca-Cola into it if she so wished, and she would get 70% of the money. The biggest show in America today is Sunday Night Football, and it only has 4.7 million viewers. To advertise in that show, it will cost you $712,000, 15 cents a view. Charli D'Amelio gets around 240,000 when she remembers to do the things I've asked her to do. She's not being paid what she's worth. So we realized that this is an enormous, enormous opportunity. So we also saw, just as Rebecca said, that there are new platforms every day. And unlike millennials and boomers, the Gen Zs are not loyal to any particular brand. They'll jump from one to another very quickly. Therefore, it's a wonderful time to introduce a new platform. So next June at Cannes Lyon, we're going to launch a platform called Sphera. And with our platform, any content creator, whether it's an independent television studio, sports league, influencer, or Bob from Facebook, can upload their content into our platform. We will protect their content with programmable guardrails. And we will tell them, forecasting them what that content could be worth. And any brand anywhere in the world will then be able to integrate into that. Now, it's worth mentioning there are 500 major brands in the world. This program will be for them, but it's not really the intended target. There are 26 million small and medium-sized businesses in America and 23 million in Europe. The number one barrier to growth for those companies is brand awareness and customer acquisition. And visual media still is the best way to achieve both of those. So this platform will be for Stonewall's horseradish, which is a real product for sale in Omaha, Nebraska. And it will work like Google AdWords. In fact, we will be the Google AdWords of the moving image. And the content creators will get 70% of the money. And that, we think, is going to be a lot of fun. And it's going to put the value and the money back into the hands of the people that create it.